We are live. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. Tell me something good. Normally, when Bitcoin gets hit early in a new quarter, it recovers. But there can be a catch, and I'm going to get you ready. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to the channel. If the content works for you, hit the like button. Today, we are covering scenarios, support and resistance, DeMark, LuxAlgo, right? A preview of what's in my Patreon. Will there be a bottom today, Monday, or 10 days from now? And which one is more bullish? Let me tell you something, folks. As an analyst, this is where you earn your stripes. This is where it's at. This is why I do this, to help you through things like this, for real. Anybody who's been watching the show for a long period of time knows that. Let's begin. My theme has been not bullish, but not mega bearish. In other words, I've been saying to people, you want to try to exit altcoin sludge that may take a long time to come back so you can have capital to grab things like Bitcoin and Solana at ridiculously low prices. So far, that's playing out. There is going to be a bottom. The bottom is near. The only question is, how big and aggressive is it going to be? The net of the beginning of this is beware the failed rally. This is being recorded on July 5th. July 5th can be a bottom in these scenarios. That stuff's in my Patreon. Speaking of which, this show is brought to you by my Patreon. Okay. Patreon.com/unhinged crypto. There are a lot of things to say in this market. There's a lot. Economics, other disciplines. There's really only so much you can say. Really. This includes interest rate policy, currency policy, etc. So you want to make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and you want to make sure you check out Patreon. The description is down below, right? I'm sorry, the link is down below. And if you head on over to my Twitter, crypto_noble, it's also in the bio. All right, let's welcome who's here. Okay, Bull Runner first on the stream, followed by Richard Barry. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Okay, Spinachi 7, decent projects will survive. Not many Pump.Fun celebrity coins these days. Yeah, Pump.Fun, the cringe of that will probably live forever. Spinachi 7 saying, if you're going to do a celebrity meme coin, do a historically famous one. I agree. The sports hobbyist, Steve Mesa, is right on time. Okay, we have Israel, Routine Cheese, welcome. We have Joseph is here from Brazil. Steve J, countdown to DeFi Summer 2.0. And you know what, folks? He's not wrong. Luis is here with a great hint on that strategist who was bearish at the bottom and left at the top. Appreciate you, Alex. Want something good? I will give you something good. Bitcoin normally does pretty good in July. Market's got this whole thing backwards. It should be buying Bitcoin on despair, and other markets get to the chopper. Okay. T-Bone, the people here today will make it. Love it when T-Bone gets like that. Love it. Okay. Israel here, Routine Cheese, Crypto Steph, Steve, Canuck Dave, Rodney is here, right? Shepdog, Schiller coming in from Twitter. Welcome. DC Precise in the house. Sir, salute to you on July 4th. Rodney Nichols, welcome. Okay, news. Tex Media, good afternoon. News, let's go. Okay. No, you know what? Let's go to PowerPoint first. Got something thanks to my, the second or third smartest guy I know in the market. Okay, what has been happening? The crypto market has experienced its second largest liquidation event of all time, with almost $700 million in long orders wiped out overnight. Overnight. Happy 4th of July. This occurred as Bitcoin's price plunged below 54K, leading to a cascade effect that has obviously destabilized the market. Note, they weren't telling you in this case that altcoins have been going down. We'll go into that. Large liquidations like these not only depress prices, but they trigger panic, exacerbating the sell-off and leading to even more liquidations. The current market situation appears grim, which experts predicting a slower recovery compared to the past. I don't know if I agree with that. Maybe in altcoins, but not in the big boys. We'll talk about it. In the midst of this mess, a jaw-dropping transfer has raised eyebrows involving 11,000 Bitcoin, equivalent to $600 million, was caught moving around. The timing of the transfer also coincided with FUD surrounding large-scale sales by entities such as the Germans, the guardian of the euro, the U.S. government, and their green paper. And then, of course, there's Mt. Gox. The movement of a substantial amount of Bitcoin in this climate has only fueled speculation. On a side note, Arkham has identified some of these wallets as belonging to BitMEX, one of the oldest crypto exchanges. So, yeah, there's enough FUD going around for everybody. 47,000 Bitcoin for Mt. Gox, 3,000 for the Germans, 3,900 for the US, 54,000 Bitcoins moved around in recent days. Okay, now let's just think about this. So hedge funds all got short at 70K. That's documented on Zero Hedge. Hedge funds go out, get short. Oh, why did they all decide to get short at 70K? Huh? What's up with that? Did they know that they were going to be big players out there selling, not just Mt. Gox? Did they get a phone call? What do you think? So what do hedge funds do? What would I do? I'm like, oh my God, there's going to be gigantic sellers in Bitcoin? Well, if there's going to be gigantic sellers in Bitcoin, let's just start leaning on altcoins right now. Right now. Fed hasn't cut rates. Dollar's going up. Hey, let's lean on it and lean on it and lean on it and lean on it. And then they come in with the Bitcoin big punch, knockout punch yesterday. Hopefully it is the knockout punch. There could be more. There might be. But hedge funds just leaning on it. And you're probably out there wondering, well, when are they going to stop leaning on it? Well, when everyone really gets upset, which could be this weekend. So if hedge funds are leaning on it and there's a lot of government, or selling FUD coming from somewhere, you can bet that those hedge funds are going to push that to the limit. Now, that's going to give you unbelievable prices for Bitcoin. It could be a golden opportunity in ETH. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it is, right? Like 2,700 in ETH, something like that. Oh my God, right? Solana, right? A lot of people thinking I had 125 was going to be it for Solana. I have 114 and 96. Again, Patreon's got a full report of scenarios. I'm going to give you some of that today, but the full scenario and the full DCA report is in Patreon. You want to check that out. Check it out. Okay. Now, with that said, let's crack into the news. So we can figure out when this thing is going to stop. Okay, first. Okay, the dollar is down because European currencies are up. Everybody's had elections and I don't know. The world didn't end. Everyone's out there looking for something else at the polls. Okay, the jobs number. Okay, the jobs number. Okay, so the jobs number was good, but it wasn't too good. It's not going to scare the Fed. The unemployment number picked up to 4.1%. Okay, earnings is stable, so no massive rampant inflation. Okay, naturally, the prior month's numbers were revised down. And everybody keeps telling us that the job market is hot, hot, hot. And it's not. We will see from the Federal Reserve. In my opinion, as one friend of mine said, they got to cut soon or something's going to happen. Don't tell me what's going on in crypto is not a warning sign of something that can happen somewhere else, because it can. It can. In other words, Bitcoin is $1 trillion asset. If you have Bitcoin at 48K and you have this level of volatility in crypto, that will affect other assets at some point. And those assets in many ways are more vulnerable. I mean, what can they really do to altcoins? Okay, yeah, they can mark them down 40%. But I mean, at that point, they would be a buy. These other markets, yeah, I don't know. I would say heck no. All right, so Bitcoin bulls meet their third and final boss. I think the real boss is hedge funds, just leaning on it, knowing that these guys have to sell. Okay, but, you know, the media's got to craft a narrative around this. And again, Arkham, well, by the way, they have a token. And I got a friend who really loves that project. So those guys have proven their worth. The only way to see what's going on. Okay, media hyperbole is back. Yay. Thank goodness media hyperbole is back. Mt. Gox. Crypto carnage. Oh my God. 170 billion. Okay. Yeah. This is exactly what you need at a bottom, or what you need right before a bottom. Because remember, no one's really trading today in equities. It's Friday, 4-day weekend. Monday morning, everyone's going to be coming in from vacation going, oh my God, my Bitcoin ETF is down 10%. I miss NVIDIA. They may sell on Monday. Retail and hedge funds own the Bitcoin ETF. So if something happens over the weekend, they could all panic on Monday, and then that could be it. As in, so scary, you're going to want to hide under the desk unless you've been in Patreon and you got capital ready. Okay, so everyone's lowering their downside target, right? Everyone's thinking 50K. I think worst case scenario is 48, in an absurd situation, 46. But, you know, that would be the ultimate. Side note, question. What's the best time to think about Bitcoin being at 100K in December? Question. What's the best time to think about Bitcoin being at 125K in March? When's the best time to think about that? When everyone thinks it's going to 50. Better yet, when it does go to 50 or below. That's a 1, 2, 3x in Bitcoin, right? Life-changing money. Why not? ETFs, mining stocks in 401ks and IRAs, you're going to get stuck with S&P when it rolls over. Now is the time to start thinking about 100K. Now is the time to start thinking about 200K. Bitcoin drops below 200-day moving average, bringing the trend line into focus. Oh my God, we're going to break a trend line. Yeah, you might break a trend line. You might. Okay, you might break a trend line, but you also might get an absolute gift. Okay, Big Rich is here. I know he's DCing into render. Okay, T-Bone has miners. Okay, Routine Cheese wants Bitcoin, not the miners. I think you do select miners. I think miners are also a group that might be kind of heaving here. Okay. Luis, Solana, what a great grab yesterday. Yes, and I do have a super bullish scenario for Solana in Patreon. Okay, German legislator urges government to stop selling. Why sell Bitcoin? Why in a big hurry? You guys got to buy something? You guys got to go buy tanks? What are you doing? Right? I mean, you know, next president of the United States probably wants to make Bitcoin a reserve asset. 2 out of 3 candidates want that. Well, why are we selling? What's up with that? Stop it. You know, you guys got an agenda? Imagine that. See, yeah, German politician is like, yo, stop it. Stop selling a national asset at the market. More FUD. 99% of Mt. Gox's 8 billion could be sold. The sky is falling. The sky is not falling. Hedge funds are taking advantage of, I don't know, people raising US dollar liquidity. What a great idea. People who are selling and puking and leaving and doing this stuff, like, make wallpaper out of these headlines so you can laugh in it in 6 months. So Mt. Gox creditors may have to wait. They may sell. They may not sell. Doomsday scenario, Bitcoin Cash. No, these guys could have a point, right? There's a lot of Bitcoin Cash out there, and that market is not deep. However, if they ever really did crush that, folks, that's another form of money. Fast Bitcoin. I mean, yeah, I know picking the bottom is hard. Bottom fishing is an expensive sport. Like, for real, it is. It is a very expensive sport. You can get hurt doing this. That said, okay, the time for DCA, what if I said on the show? You start the DCA process at 58. 58, 56, 54, 50, 48, 46. Let them sell it to you at a good price. At one guy who I used to work with used to say, okay, again, 10x research, move to 50K coming. That is a scenario. Okay, $580 million in liquidations. Let me ask you something about these numbers. What do you think is going to happen when, like, I don't know, all the big players sell and there's like $2 billion worth of long liquidation? Is there going to be enough liquidity for those people to buy back in? In other words, all this Bitcoin that's being heaved in the low 50s, is that traders buying that? Who's buying that exactly? Yeah, okay. You sell $2 billion worth of Bitcoin, right? Or however many billions of dollars into Bitcoin. Yeah, good luck buying it back when it turns. Okay, I like this. This is a newspaper headline that, you know, somebody's just like, okay, this is what it is. Right? Ethereum goes down 10% in bearish trade. Okay, right? They're going to sell you Ethereum and Solana at massively discounted prices right before the release of an ETF that will occur in tandem with most likely an event somewhere in legacy. As I have said on the stream over and over again, you see this all the time throughout the history of markets. At the end of the dot-com crash in 2002, nobody would touch Amazon. Nobody would touch an internet stock. They wouldn't touch the Google IPO in 2004. In 2010, nobody was talking about the iPhone. Well, some people will, but everybody was talking about international events in Europe. Ridiculous. That was the birth of the Magnificent Seven, and they couldn't sell it fast enough because they thought it was 2008 all over again. Solana meme coins. Oh, God. Please stop it. Please purge all that so we can be done, right? This market, you know, too much pumped up fun, people. Not enough like crypto as money. Everybody got caught leaning in that speculative direction and they ran into hedge funds. That's okay. Because we're gonna pay them back. We're gonna pay them back soon. Come August, yeah, you watch. We'll be back. Okay, Solana. Everybody's looking for 100. You might get it. MicroStrategy getting smashed. Oh my God, what's happening? I don't know, folks. What do you mean what's happening? People are selling Bitcoin. What do you think this guy's going to do when Bitcoin hits 50? He's going to come out and borrow more money, right? He's going to come out and borrow more money and buy more Bitcoin. Was June a bear trap? Yeah, I think this whole thing is a bear trap. It's just a question of how it ends. Again, Patreon has got the details. They have the scenarios. Come check us out. Check us out on Patreon. Empire Newsletter. Is crypto versus AI a zero-sum game? No. Matter of fact, crypto and AI together are, like Novogratz has said this from Galaxy, it is the theme. The theme. Crypto and AI work better together. The next trade is not NVIDIA, it's crypto and AI. And if they mark altcoin downs over the weekend, or if there's some kind of crazy dislocation, hey, It's for the taking. And wouldn't you know, the Grayscale Ethereum Trust, ETHE, has traded better since they announced the ETF launch, which is exactly the opposite of what you would think. Huh. You got people going after ETH in there? What do you think? I think so. Okay. And then, you know, from Garrett Soloway, right? Just a little word on equities. The Russell 2000 is down today. The S&P is down. Okay. But the NASDAQ with 50% in trillion-dollar stocks is up. Can't get enough of those trillion-dollar stocks. Crazy. Okay. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Midnight 1769. Okay, you got a lot of interesting people in stocks. Yeah, you do. Right? A lot of interesting people. Okay, Chev Ant says, I'm fed up with DCA. I get it. That's why you start DCA in the middle of a crash, right? DCA, for the sake of DCA in altcoins, can get you in trouble, okay? Can get you in trouble. Okay, let's move to PowerPoint. PowerPoint. Okay, Bitcoin dominance. So this has been all about a decline in Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance is in a 3-point range. And really, all I would like to say is let's keep it that way. Let's keep it that way, right? You do not want to see Bitcoin dominance break above 56 because that means the hedge funds are going to have one last push in altcoins. In other words, Bitcoin may get to a point like 48 where they stop going down. That's fine. If altcoins don't stop going down, you could have a 3 or 4 point move in Bitcoin dominance. That would be bad. This is why I'm telling people, yes, altcoins look really cheap. Yes, you want to grab Solana. Yes, Solana and ETH look really juicy. You just don't know what's going to happen if Bitcoin prints below 50. Because if you thought last night is scary, wait until these guys with the ETF come in on Monday, especially if the market's down. If the market's not down, maybe we can have a serene Zen market update instead. Bitcoin dominance needs to stay in that range. Now, let's talk about some good news. On the 4-hour DeMark chart of Ethereum, there's a 13 bottom. Yes. Now, there was a 13 bottom up here that gave you, I don't know, 2 days of a rally, and then that fell apart. So this just reminds you that beware the failed rally, right? In other words, if ETH goes up and goes sideways, good. If ETH goes up and kind of slumps a little but doesn't go back down, good. If ETH goes up hard and then reverses and comes down hard, that's what happened at the close yesterday. You don't want that. But for right now, ETH's looking okay. Really, it's okay. Unless there's a failed rally. You're going to hear that a lot. Now, the good news is on ETH, on a daily chart, when they're done with these gymnastics, whether that's 1 day, 5 days, or 12 days, again, those are the scenario in Patreon. Okay, this will be over. The DeMark Elliott wave signals are saying done. 13 bottom today in Bitcoin on the daily chart. Bitcoin should be done today. Should be. If not, you could have something exciting happen over the weekend or early next week. In other words, a 13 is where you want to be like, okay, this should be a bottom. Let's look for a point. You want to see people willing to pay higher prices. Yeah, of course, it's easy to buy the market when it's down 15%. You got capital. It's like, oh, wow, look at this. Like jump out of bed and grab this at, I don't know, 54. But there may not be anything special about 54. It may have to go lower. 13 bottom is there. 13 bottom is there in ETH. Let's hope that holds. Holding is good. Failed rally? No. Now, in Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart, I got no bottom signal yet. I got nothing. I have an uptick. Okay. But I don't have a bottom signal here. I'd love to have it across the board. You can't have everything. Solana, close to a 13 bottom, 2 more days. This is one of the reasons why I'm thinking Monday. Right? I mean, Solana at 120, I know is juicy, but if people who bought this dip take heat, if they can't take it through 140, 2 more days. Okay. Solana on a 4-hour chart could be phenomenal. Like of all the charts, this is the best looking chart, right? Yesterday I said, beware the failed rally. That's exactly what you got. And it's the same thing here. Matter of fact, this could be one of the most powerful reversal signs that DeMark has if it holds. I continue to believe that when all is said and done, Solana will save the market. It'll either save it now or it'll save it Monday. You want to come out of this long Bitcoin, long Solana, non-investment advice, right? And then whatever money you got left over, it's ETH, and then you go on down the line after that because you're going to need these things as money. These things are investments, trading instruments, they're collector's items. You'd be like, wow, I remember back in the day, 2 months before, a couple months before the events in November, and everybody was selling. Everybody was selling. Wrong, wrong, wrong. This technical analysis is brought to you by LuxAlgo. If you look down below in the description, there is an affiliate link for LuxAlgo. Please use it. Please use it. Okay? Please use it. LuxAlgo is making my life easier for live TA with support and resistance points. Okay, and again, don't forget to hit the like button and turn on the bell so you know when we're going live. So LuxAlgo gives you support on the 4-hour chart to the number at the current low at 56.8. Resistance is now back up at 60. But this LuxAlgo sell signal around 64 gave you a maximum take profit target of 56. Then it bounces, then we see. Whoops, did I lose the stream? I cannot see myself. Hang on. All right. Can I see myself or did I just put an ad up on the screen? Let me stop screen sharing for a minute here. Hang on. Bear with me. Bear with me. Solo without the Eagle King here. Okay, there I am. I'm back. Thank you for putting up with those technical difficulties. Back to PowerPoint and LuxAlgo. Ethereum LuxAlgo gets the low on the 4-hour chart at 30.89. Let's hope that holds. Solana support at 124, resistance at 143. People have to be willing to pay higher prices. And I'm sorry, LuxAlgo got the low at 2,800 on the 20-hour chart. Sorry, that other chart was old. Okay. Dollar index. Hey, the dollar's lower. When everybody gets over themselves here, it's going to be dollar lower. Okay. I am back on the screen. All right. PJL says I'm looking good here. Back into the chat. Want to welcome everybody who's coming in on Twitter. All right. Crypto Crazy is here. All right. Schiller, you can hear me. Hopefully you can see me. All right. Now let's go to some live TA. Oh, I forgot DeFi Perp. Can you believe it? Well, you're bearing with me today. Thank you. Okay. Gold breaking out above 23.67. Silver breaking out above 31.70 on LuxAlgo. So dollar lower, silver higher, gold higher. This is going to be great for crypto today or Monday. Remember, Bitcoin normally does pretty good in July. The only question is, what does the bottom look like? Now, DeFi. DeFi had a level at 672. This is DeFi Perp on a 4-hour. Now, if there is a mishap, because I really don't care for 1, 2, 3 up candles and failure, you do not want to see a failed rally. You do not want to see a failed rally. If you do, you'll get DeFi Perp at 572. And I'm sure you don't need me or Steve to tell you that that will be one for the ages because the second DeFi perp gets down or makes the bottom, whether it's in or not, the second that happens, things will change in legacy. Everybody will go, why are we selling DeFi? And it'll just all turn around just like that. Now, that could take a day, a month, to sort of like pan out. Don't doubt DeFi. And if you're going to dollar cost average, you want to wait, like, for example, if there's something terrible going on over the weekend in altcoins, right, you can start DCA at that point. Normally you don't. I've been saying, in the past, but when they really start panicking, that's when you can start DCAing, I think. Right? Because it's got a limit at 48. All right. And that's the market update. Okay. Now I'm going to at least show you what's in Patreon. Okay. I'm going to give you the example. So here is the scenario podcast. So it comes with an 8-minute video. Okay. We have LuxAlgo charts. I'm using my historical software from when I was at Goldman to find interesting occurrences like the July 4th decline in 2013, right? And there's a special case of what happened when you had a failed rally in 2015. This is where beware the failed rally comes from. This is where you could have 48 or 46 if it got really messy. There is a precedent for a decline at the start of a quarter ending up badly, and the DCA levels are right there in Patreon, and you are going to be seeing these things regularly, along with stuff in the podcast that you just can't talk about. The list of stuff that you can't talk about is just long. If you're on regular social media, you're not talking about a whole range of things. You're just not. Okay. Now let's just go to live TA, see what's happening. Okay, Bitcoin still down, right? Interesting. There's a Fibonacci circle analysis line around 56. Okay. ETH is still down, which is a little creepy, right? You can see heavy liquidation in ETH. Heavy. Hopefully that's it at 2,800. That will bring it to an end. If not, be careful. Okay, like we said like we said earlier, Jersey Shore is in the house. Daniel, welcome. Okay. Yeah, Routine Cheese wants S&P. We're going to look at that. So Solana resistance at 175. Now moving over to S&P because I don't know, they just can't stop loving it. Okay, they have support now underneath it on the 4-hour chart. Okay, most likely July is going to be your blow off top in S&P. And I have a report in Patreon that at some point in July, it's get to the chopper over there because something is going to rear its ugly head. Like they're buying the Magnificent Seven and selling Bitcoin. It's painful and laughable. It is. Joe Mike is here. What's up? Joe Mike, welcome. Okay. So now going to like a 4-hour chart and things like Avalanche, right? It's incredible. It's incredible that, something like Avalanche can go from 30 to 21 in a matter of days. Now, the good news is, particularly with the stuff that I put in Patreon, right? The good news is when you get a down move in the first part of a quarter, okay, coming off the charts, when you get a down move in the first part of a quarter, normally it turns around and Bitcoin does well. Now, in the event that Bitcoin doesn't turn around and go up, you can have kind of a dislocation. You can have something really harsh go on. Okay. Now, one of the things that's bugging me lately is things like Doge. Like anything that you would think would become money isn't money. One scenario over the weekend is that hedge funds are going to push shorts in thin markets. I don't think buying strength makes any sense because, again, a lot of these altcoins, they're still down, right? I mean, Render, which, you would think you would like. Of course you would like it, right? But there's resistance at 670, right? They're coming after this thing. In other words, LuxAlgo will show you the breakdown points. This is what should have held, and now they're selling it again. And just in case you thought it was only you, I actually really think, I thought Cardano was going to hold 40 cents. And now Cardano has a wall of resistance above it. I saw YouTubers giving up on both Cardano and Polkadot, and I couldn't believe that that could be right. I don't think it is right, but I do think it's fair to say, not without looking at them, that, some of this stuff's not going to come back. Now, some stuff that may come back is like, look at this Arkham token. Like, have these guys not proven themselves? I mean, seriously, these guys have single-handedly provided color and explanation. Okay, the support point in Arkham that mattered is at 122. Right? Like that's the good level in Arkham, in my opinion. Okay. And, just to show you, okay, so we're going back and forth on WIF, right? So my argument has kind of been, maybe not so many memes and maybe more Solana, but hey, these guys are holding it. They want this thing. Now, my argument is it may not be over until they don't. Okay. They go into resistance in PopCat. Again, this is the benefit of LuxAlgo and being able to move quickly from chart to chart and see these like really big points so that you're not sitting here going, gee, should I buy? I mean, PopCat pulled up shorter support and now it's attacking resistance. Okay. Let me see if I can get Bitcoin Cash going on this, because that is a, I thought Bitcoin Cash in the 300s would be, I don't know, juicy. We haven't seen liquidation yet in Bitcoin Cash. I don't have that like red on red look. I don't. And a lot of these bottoming signals people have ignored. Okay, that's fine. I want to get my hands on this thing when these guys are done selling. Okay. This is fast Bitcoin. Like in the event things got ridiculous, just so you know, 253 and 297 are support points, right? I thought anything in the 300s would be good. Who knows? Maybe it's the 200s. Okay, let's wrap this up. Richard Barry, no problem, man. Do BCH for you especially. Hedge funds are going to push it over the weekend. There's going to be a thin market. If nobody wants to pay higher prices and soon, and again, I don't even know why would they over the weekend, right? Well, why would you do it in a thin holiday weekend? If they can't get a rally going or there's a failed rally, okay, that could result in unfortunate upside. It's actually worse if the market closes up like 1 or 2 days and then turns. Generally speaking, this is going to be the bottom for Bitcoin. If you see 48K in Bitcoin, that could be a generational low. It could be. And you're going to have a generational low in Solana. A lot of people were talking about Solana at 1,000. The best time to talk about that is when they're selling it with reckless abandon at 120. Solana could also be a one coin market, and ETH, I think, is going to be on solid footing just as soon as they're done with whatever they're doing in Bitcoin. Do not fall for misdirection. Do not fall for sovereigns selling Bitcoin. Okay, if there's a change in thought in governments, trust me, they'll come in and take all the Bitcoin that there is. Do not lose sight of what is important: your life, your family, your health. This too will pass. The best time to start DCA is when the market is falling apart. That's the best time to do DCA, when the market is falling apart. So if you have a market start coming unglued on Sunday and you want to go back into altcoins, that's when you go back in and start the DCA process. And of course, don't forget, if you got stuff and it hasn't worked out, stop out. Just stop out, right? Okay, so that's going to be it for today. All right, I will see you in Patreon and on Monday.